Hey everybody, welcome back into Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. February, yeah, it's that time. The calendar's switching again, and February is actually Heart Health Month. And here to talk a little bit about it is Dr. Eric Brooks. He's the Region 3 Medical Director, the Office of Public Health. So thanks so much for being here. You guys are going to have an open house coming up soon, and a lot of it is going to go around with February and Heart Health Month. Huh?
That's going to be a big part of it, certainly. Yes, sir. The open house in Houma is going to be this Friday at the health unit, pretty much all day. It'll be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And yeah, big part of that will be education on blood pressure, heart health, free blood pressure checks, things like that.
Still a big issue, right? You know, obviously we just got by COVID, and you know, a lot of us have been affected with cancer in our lives and our parents' lives and all. Mm-hmm. But heart attacks still number one, right?
Yeah, so heart health still beats out cancer as number one worldwide, both women and men. It can be heart attacks. There's a lot of different types of heart disease. In the U.S., though, coronary artery disease or heart attacks are going to be number one.
So let's talk a little bit about that. And for somebody that you know that's thinking, look, I'm too young to have this kind of stuff, and no big deal. But heart attacks. First of all, let's talk about symptoms. How would you know if you were having a heart attack? Is it something on my left side? I'm not feeling right. Yeah. Pressure. I guess it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and it can be different for women, for men. But your typical pain is going to be a pain in the chest, a pressure like something sitting on your chest. But it can be also a pain in your back, pain in your neck. It can feel like indigestion. It can feel like heartburn. A lot of times it's not just pain. You'll get nauseous, weak, dizzy, short of breath, sweaty. Those are a lot of the classic things to look for with heart attacks. But heart disease doesn't have to be just heart attack, like we said. It's kind of a big group. Some of the other common things are like arrhythmias, where your heart's not beating quite right, and it can feel like a fluttering, or what we call palpitations in the chest, or it can just be heart failure. It might be shortness of breath, particularly shortness of breath when you lay down at night, just real tired, swelling in your feet, ankles, legs. Those are all reasons to talk to your doctor, get your heart checked.
Yeah, and just doctors nowadays and the way we treat heart disease seems to be a lot better than it was. Like I said, when I was growing up, it seemed like everybody's dad, mom passed away from heart attacks. Now it seems like we're pushing the ball a lot further down, and we're seeing some of those things. But so people who are at risk now, there's plenty of ways that you can help people out. But what are I remember hearing, used to be smoking, used to be lifestyle meat. They used to always talk about all that. Yep. Now it seems like family history's number one, and what you tell me.
It's up there. It's up there. But I mean, family history, you can't really do a lot to change that. But there's a lot of things that we can do to help prevent heart disease. He said, we have advanced in the treatments, but an ounce of prevention. And it's diet. It's avoiding a lot of red meats, avoiding salt. It's diet. It's exercise. It's things like that are the main things that you can do to help prevent heart attacks. And if you realize you have a family history of it, getting checked, establishing with your doctor early. As soon as 20 years old, the American Heart Association recommends getting your cholesterol checked about every 5 years.
Yeah, so that's always big. I was reading an article. It says America now like about 40% for obesity. So those are also some of the symptoms: obesity, type 2 diabetes. I guess those kind of go hand in hand.
The risk factors to developing heart disease. So yeah, those with diabetes, obesity, unhealthy diet, like I said, physical inactivity, excessive alcohol use, smoking, things like that, all increase your risk of developing heart disease.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the myths of heart disease. And as I was saying, you always think maybe one box will fit somebody, but it really can happen to anybody. And we're seeing that more and more. I know some of it might be political with the COVID thing and the vaccine now. You see it more and more on Twitter, different things. But what are some of the different things? It can affect anybody at any age, huh?
Yeah, I mean, some people will say, well, I'm fit, I'm not going to get heart disease. Well, if you're fit and you don't take care of yourself, you eat an unhealthy diet, you smoke, you drink, I mean, you can still get heart disease, especially if you have a family history like we talked about. If heart disease runs in your family, some people would say, well, there's nothing I can do about it.
Right?
Yeah, they give up. Well, that's not true. Diet and exercise can significantly reduce your risk of developing heart disease. having heart disease means my heart can't handle exercise. Well, it can, and you probably should talk to your doctor, but just a little bit of exercise can significantly improve the quality of life and the progression of that heart disease. Some people will say, I know if I have high blood pressure because I'll have symptoms. Well, that's not true. A lot of people will have high blood pressure and not have any symptoms at all until it starts to lead to problems like heart disease. And that's one of the reasons we really encourage people to get screened and have blood pressure checks. And we're going to be offering it at a couple of the different events we have coming up.
Yeah, and being too young, it can happen at any age, and we've seen that a lot, right? Starting at 20 years old. So we do see that. So February 3rd, you're going to have the Go Red for Women. So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so Go Red for Women is part of the American Heart Association program. It's intended to raise awareness for women's heart health, and as part of that, we're going to be providing education and blood pressure checks on February 3rd at all the parish health units.
And you can tell a lot just by blood pressure, huh?
You can tell a lot. That's one of the biggest risk factors for developing heart disease.
Okay, so the Public Health, the Office of Public Health, they have one in Terrebonne. Well, they have things in Terrebonne, but you work out of Thibodaux, right?
The main office for the Bayou River parishes is in Thibodaux, but we have a parish health unit and all the Bayou River parishes.
Okay, so Wednesday, February 1st from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. That's where the screenings will be. And then on February 3rd, on Friday, also at the Terrebonne Parish Health Unit in Houma, right?
Yes, sir.
So a lot of good stuff going on. And if they want to reach you guys, how do they reach you?
They can reach out to the website,
online.
LDH online is probably the easiest to get us.
All right, Doctor. Well, thanks so much. Look, it's a big time and a very important subject. So thanks so much for being with us.
I appreciate it.
We'll be right back with more Bayou Time after this.